Since 2017, we've seen the Good Doctor saving lives, but that's not all. The show has also been breaking hearts just as long because so far we've had to say goodbye to an actor or two every season. Now, ahead of the 5th season, there are rumors that maybe one of those written-off actors will reappear. So, who will it be?
I've solved it!
While we wonder that, here's a roundup of all the cast exits in The Good Doctor. Chukwumodu as Dr. Jared Kalu. The first victim of the show's cast shakeups was Chukwumodu, who retired his white coat after just a single season of playing Dr. Kalu. But how did such a popular character have such a short stint as a good doctor? On screen, he was like Clark Kent with a lab coat, beating up the asshats that assaulted Claire. But instead of getting a cape and spandex, he got the boot because the hospital fired him. And then he became more like a supervillain, blackmailing his way back into his job. In a shocking twist, St. Bonaventure Hospital was saved from his return when he was offered a job in Denver. But what about off-screen? Well, that's a hotly contested debate because Chuka has never actually given a reason for leaving the medical drama. However, his fans are absolutely convinced that his exit was not due to drama or bad blood. Instead, it was for an exciting new challenge. After leaving The Good Doctor, Chuka stuck to medicine to play Dr. Gabriel Santiago in The 100. And since then, he's been working hard in Hollywood, scoring roles in a variety of different projects, including Game of Thrones. So his exit might have hurt fans, but it certainly helped his career. I don't know about you, but that does help us forgive him for going. Wanna know a secret? He wasn't the only cast member to only last a single season. Beau Garrett as Jessica Preston. Dr. Kalu learned that beating someone up is a pretty good way to get yourself fired, but what was lawyer Jessica Preston's excuse? That's a good question. Fans were seriously surprised when the show revealed that Beau Garrett's character would not be returning for his 2nd season. But honestly, they shouldn't have been, because we had a few clues that it would happen. First, her relationship with Glassman was shaken up by his cancer diagnosis, and then she broke up with Dr. Melendez. With those ties cut, Jessica was basically an outsider to the main cast. So what about off-screen? Beau has been careful not to reveal the reason for Jessica's weird absence, and only opened up about it in 2019 while chatting to Fox News. But even though she spoke about her departure, she was still very cryptic. The actress admitted, "It just felt like the right time to exit. We all have to move on eventually, and hopefully the next career move will be just as gratifying." And it has been. Since exiting the cast, she's been involved in several projects, including a role in Firefly Lane with Katherine Heigl, before coming full circle and rejoining The Good Doctor. Even though it was just for one episode at the start of season 4, now we just need to see if she'll turn up again in the 5th season. Oh, and speaking of actors who just disappeared from the show, someone else did it too, a season later. Tamlin Tokita as Allegra Oki. In the case of The Good Doctor, it seems every new season is a chance for the team to break viewers' hearts. Just after we recovered from the first cast exits, we had to do it all over again at the end of the 2nd season, and we still don't know why. Tamlin's character, Allegra, essentially became a magician while the rest of the cast was busy filming, because she straight up disappeared without a trace or explanation. But the most confusing part is that it happened right after she was promoted to a series regular. The actress has always been very vocal about how much she enjoyed working on the show, and especially with Freddie Highmore. Among other things, she called her colleague wonderful, brilliant, caring, stupendously sexy, and awesomely talented. So why did she leave? The only answer we can think of is that she was lured away to other projects because Tamlin is seriously popular in Hollywood. She just forgot to explain that to her fans. She's been in The Man in the High Castle, Star Trek, DuckTales, and Cobra Kai, and even some films. All in just 3 years, which is, frankly, impressive and a little scary. Sadly, we can't even expect her to return to The Good Doctor for a cameo in the upcoming season because she's not credited in the cast list. So if you want to see Tamlin again, it won't be at St. Bonaventure. Hopefully that's not the case with this next cast member, because like Tamlin, she ghosted us right after becoming a series regular. Jessica Nicole as Dr. Carly Lever. I'm noticing a concerning trend with The Good Doctor. A lot of the cast leaves right after being promoted to series regulars. Just ask Jessica Nicole, who, like Tamlin, only spent 1 season as a regular cast member before being booted ahead of season 4. It makes no sense. You see, an unexpected death at the end of Season 3, which we'll mention in a little bit, distracted us from the fact that we'd seen a lot less of Carly since she and Shaun split up. So when the series executive producer David Shore announced that Jessica won't be coming back to the cast, it was surprising, but not really unexpected. In fact, the actress paid tribute to her newly single character with a hilarious Twitter video. But before you lament never seeing Carly again, her exit might not be permanent. Maybe. Hopefully. David explained, "I love Jessica and would love to see her on the show, but it will not be in the same capacity, which means that just maybe there's a chance we'll see her return for a cameo soon. Fingers crossed." Unfortunately, a cameo's not an option for our next actor, unless zombies are somehow an option. Nicholas Gonzalez as Dr. Neil Melendez. Neil had one of the most dramatic exits in The Good Doctor's history, and no one would argue that it was a major tearjerker moment when he breathed his last breath at the end of Season 3. What made it even more tragic was that Neil had this adorable blossoming romance starting with Claire, which we'll now never see play out. I'm not crying, you are. Okay, back to facts. When David Shore was asked about that heart-wrenching finale, his response was shocking because it was so true. The producer reminded us that sometimes life is tragic and there's nothing we can do about it. He added, "When you do a series like this, you want to confront mortality. You need to keep things honest. You want to see how people react to bad news as well as good. You want people to feel." Well, congrats, David, because we felt it. At least he was adamant that it wasn't personal, so we know that Nicholas wasn't written off the show because of drama. Actually, the rest of the cast and crew adore the actor. But how did Nicholas handle it? It can't be easy to have been fired for the sake of TV realism. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, the actor admitted the news did upset him. He explained that it was definitely tough to say goodbye, but that he was damn proud of the work he'd done. And now he's working on breaking into feature films, with some interesting projects on the horizon. So maybe it wasn't a bad thing after all. But we can't say the same for his on-screen love interest. Antonia Thomas as Dr. Claire Brown. If Neil's exit was shocking, then we have no words to describe how we felt when Claire decided to leave for Guatemala. But it made sense. She just lost the love of her life and needed to recoup and reprioritize. But just because her on-screen departure was a work of creative genius doesn't mean it was as easy off-screen. When the actress announced her plans to leave, she still had 2 years on her contract, and she'd always been vocal about loving her job, so why did she quit? It definitely wasn't an easy choice. As Antonia told Deadline, it was a really, really difficult decision, and leaving, I have to say, is a bittersweet thing for me because the last 4 years have been absolutely incredible. But she realized that the writers had given Claire as many amazing storylines as possible, and the actress also wanted to start trying new things and new creative opportunities. Thankfully, David Shore was on board, even though he was bummed about it, and so were her colleagues. To be honest, we're convinced that's why Claire's ending was so carefully and beautifully written. The whole team had the time to think of the perfect send-off. It still hurt though, for everyone. The actress even admitted that she would have stayed on at The Good Doctor if she just had more time. Sadly, the limited hours in a day meant that she can't be Claire Lever and do new things on the side. She had to choose. However, there might be a silver lining to this. Antonia and David have both hinted that Claire might reappear in the future as a guest role, so there is still a chance we'll get to see her again. And even if we don't, it was still a great experience for Antonia. As she revealed to Deadline, she left with some important gifts: gratitude, camaraderie, and friendships. And now we have a gift for you. You can expect some new faces in Season 5, and maybe an old one. We might see Claire back sooner than we thought, because the internet is abuzz with rumors after David Shore teased a return for a beloved character in Season 5. Then again, it could be any of the characters who departed but remained in the land of the living, like Allegra or Jessica. But there's something else to look forward to: new doctors. Okay, not entirely. Ahead of the show's 5th season, 3 recurring cast members have been promoted to series regulars, so we'll be seeing a lot more of them. They are Osvaldo Benavides as Dr. Mateo Ozma, Noah Galvin as Dr. Asher Wolk, and Dr. Jordan Allen, played by Bria Henderson. All we need to do now is wait to see what lies ahead for these guys and hope that they don't become the latest victims of the Good Doctor casting curse. hold thumbs that they last longer than just one season, okay? For even more info about the cast of The Good Doctor, check out our other videos. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, stay awesome.